today's topic is transform your life in just 6 months. How do you like the idea? Right? Yes. So, practical steps, of course, for Gen Z and early career professionals ready to unlock rapid personal and career growth. So, if you stay focused, if you follow what I'm going to tell you today, I can assure you, you can change your life in just 6 months. Ready for that? Cool. So I would suggest you to bring pen and paper because you will need them. Okay, let me ask you a simple question, right? If I told you that in just 6 months, you could completely transform your career, your mindset, and your daily life, would you believe me? Yes or no?
Kinda.
Kind of. Thank you for showing trust in me. But some of you might say, Kapil sir, 6 months is too short. Real change takes years. Let me stop you right there. 6 months is more than enough to see a new you, right? And, you know, provided you take the right actions consistently, because, of course, that is important. Think about it. In 6 months, you can lose weight, you can learn a new skill, save a decent amount of money, or even build a side hustle. The problem is not time, the problem is clarity, consistency, and commitment. And that is exactly what today's session is all about, right? I repeat, clarity, consistency, and commitment, right? And I'm going to walk you through 5 powerful areas where you can take action and completely transform your life in just 6 months. So, whether you're a student preparing for exams, or anybody is a young professional aiming for promotions, or somebody who wants to upgrade life, this session is like tailor made for you, right? So, are you ready for this or not? Thank you. So, grab your notebook, sit back, and let's get started on this journey. Okay? See, I have a new slide on the screen. Your 6 months journey. Can you see? 6 months transformation journey. One. So these are the points you should note down. Number one, mindset reset. That is, in brief, I would say you have to cultivate a growth mentality that turns challenges into opportunities, right? You shouldn't fear any challenge. Number one is the mindset reset. Number two, smart goal mapping. We'll go into detail in the course of this session, but for this point, just note down these 5 point strategy, right? Then habit engineering, that you have to design your daily routines so that your small actions, your baby steps give you big results. And number four, rapid skill sprints. Yes, you have to have focused learning. You have to master in demand abilities. You must know what are the skills that are in demand. right? Just a minute. Let me, silent my phone. Yeah, sorry. And then lastly, community and brand. You have to leverage networks, right? Connect with people, build your personal presence. Got it? So now we'll understand these 5 points one by one. So moving to mindset reset. So we can call this mindset reset as your internal revolution, right? So, the very first step in transforming your life is not external, it's internal. It's about resetting your mindset. See, too often we live with a fixed mindset, thinking our intelligence, talent, or circumstances, ki bhai, it cannot change. We have a fixed mindset that we cannot, we are not good enough, we don't have talent, or our circumstances are such that we cannot grow or we cannot progress. But hey, the truth is, you can rewire your brain. You can cultivate a growth mindset, which means seeing challenges as opportunities, failures as feedbacks, and learning as a lifelong habit. Understanding the point that if we are assuming or taking up our challenges that come in our life as opportunities, if we take failures as feedback, and if we are a lifelong learner, that is what a person of a growth mindset is. So, in these 6 months, what I want you to become is you become hyper aware of your thoughts. So, when you hear that inner voice saying, I can't do this, कभी कभी लगता है ना, कैसे होगा? तो replace it with, I can learn how to do this. The difference may sound small, but it is life changing. I am sure every one of you know about Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, right? He said, dream is not which you see while sleeping. It is something that does not let you sleep, right? So, a growth mindset allows you to dream big and chase those dreams with action, right? Sounds cool? Then, and how do we get that? You have to start by reading books, journaling your thoughts, listening to podcasts that challenge your perspective. Did you hear my latest podcast? I shared it yesterday in the group. You must. See, it was all about how to be your own cheerleader, how to stay motivated, how to grow forward. So I'm sure you will love it and you'll get a lot of learnings. Make it a point to listen to all my podcasts because they are for you. They are life skills, they are career tips, right? So you'll learn a lot. Okay, moving further. Then, because see, reading books, journaling thoughts, listening to podcasts that challenge your perspective. Create affirmations that remind you of your potential. And let me tell you, by the end of 6 months, you will notice that the way you think, respond, and act will change. And that is the real beginning of transformation because you're moving towards growth mindset, right? Now, moving on to our slide number 2. Yes. Now, this is your success blueprint. SMART goal mapping. Now, SMART is an acronym here. S for specific, M for measurable, A for achievable, R for relevant, and T for time bound. Right? So, when we talk about specific part, that is define exactly what you want to achieve. Measurable means track progress. A little while, some days back, I recorded a video that whatever you measure, it grows. It's a whole video on that, just on this point. So, because whatever we will be mindful of, where we focus, that we will be able to achieve. Achievable. Yes. Set challenging, yet restrict realistic targets. See, let's say there is a student who scored 40%. Now, of course, that student wants to improve. But now, if he sets the target of 90%, it is challenging and unrealistic because a 40% student thinking of immediately 90% is difficult. But if he thinks about 60%, that is also a great improvement. It is challenging and it is realistic. But once he has achieved that 60% target, now he can focus on an 80% target. Right? Then when he has achieved 80%, then he can revise his target to 90%. Right? So that is like the strategy. So 40% and moving, see, let's say a student who scored 40% kept a target of 90% and but was able to achieve 60%. He will not be happy because the goal is not met. Goal was 90, isn't it? But if he has put the goal as 60, it was, yes, challenging, but it was realistic. And when he is able to achieve 60, he'll celebrate. He'll get more motivated. And now he'll put the target to like 75 or 80, right? And then work towards it. So we need, because success is a beautiful encouragement, right? Success motivates us. So, in the previous case, if he had kept the target as 95 or 90%, even though he achieved 60%, he would have felt that he failed. Right? So, that is why I say realistic targets. They should be challenging, but they should be realistic. Then, relevant. Align goals with your bigger purpose. Right? The final destiny, right? Where you want to go, what you want to achieve, and then baby steps, specific goals, which you, with every passing day, with achievement of every baby step you take, you feel that you are coming closer to your final goal. And then, of course, they should be time bound, right? So that is what I mean to say, so that you know what are the duration where you need to achieve that. Got it? So let's take an example. In fact, I already take that example, that what I mean to say is break your big goal into monthly milestones and weekly actions. Track your progress religiously. Yes, when you see yourself ticking off small goals, that is your baby steps, your motivation skyrockets. Imagine yourself 6 months later looking back and realizing that every week you moved closer your dream. And that is the power of smart goal mapping. Right? So create your goals in such a way, create your strategy in such a way that it reflects smart goal mapping. Understood? Cool, right? Okay. Moving further, that we have to, that is habit engineering. Small actions, massive results, right? See, once the goals are in place, it's time to build the habits that will take you there. For example, somebody might have created a to do list, somebody might be writing goals. But if action is missing, nothing will be achieved, right? That is why we need to do certain habit formation. Success is not about one big effort, it's about small actions repeated daily. That's why I always stress on the importance of baby steps. And this is where habit engineering comes in. Design a morning routine that energizes you. It could include 20 minutes of exercise, 10 minutes of journaling, 20 minutes of reading. Now that's less than an hour because 20 plus 10 plus 20, it's just 50 minutes. You still have 10 minutes. But it sets the tone for the entire day. Because every day you are doing this. If you are doing 20 minutes of exercises, you are keeping yourself healthy. 10 minutes of journaling might lead to affirmations also, right? Positive mindset. 20 minutes of reading, you're gaining something, you're learning something, right? So I would say use the productivity hacks like the Pomodoro technique, time blocking, even simple to do lists to stay on track. Let me tell you, I have podcasts on each one of them. Pomodoro technique, time blocks, and to do list I did with you 2 weeks back. Isn't it? See the power of my podcast? I'll share the link in the description. I have more than 270 episodes. It's a treasure for the students. So go, enjoy, learn. I always say keep listening, keep learning. So, one powerful trick is habit stacking. Connect a new habit to an old one. For example, let's say you have the habit of drinking tea in the morning. So, stack a new habit with it, like writing 3 things you are grateful for while sipping your tea. That's showing gratitude. So, see, the universe work in wonderful ways. When you show gratitude towards what you are achieving, the universe will give you more so that you can keep on writing the gratitude, your journal, and it works. So, you know, over 6 months, these small changes compound into massive results. And if you have heard about James Clear, a very renowned author of the book Atomic Habits, he says, you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. So build the systems and the results will follow. I repeat, these are the lines given by James Clear. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. So build the systems and the results will follow. Right? Then let's move on to rapid skill sprints. Now your career is in acceleration mode. And this is I would say, the exciting part, right? that if you want to transform your career, you must invest in learning new skills. Yes, very, very important. But instead of trying to learn everything at once, focus on rapid skill sprints. Meaning, these are intense, focused periods of 4 to 6 weeks where you master one in demand skill. So, first of all, we need to make a list of the skills that we need for our ultimate destination, right? Then we'll chalk out those skills which can be mastered in like in a month or 2 months or maximum 3 months, right? And then one by one, we start preparing. Let's say you are interested in coding. So in 6 weeks, you can finish a beginner's friendly Python course and start building small projects. Or if you're interested in digital marketing, you can complete the certification and start running ad campaigns. If design excites you, right? Platforms like Canva, Figma, or Adobe XD can be learned in just weeks. So in 6 months, you can complete at least three of these sprints, making you employable, confident, and ready for the future. How cool is that? Cool? And here's the secret. Employers today don't just look for degrees, they look for skills. So, by focusing on micro learning and intense sprints, you stand out in interviews and open doors to freelance projects, side hustles, even entrepreneurship. And for example, if you want to make a career in music and you want to go to your dream university, so create a plan. What are the things that you need to learn? Try to research what are the kind of students that get enrolled in such a program, right? So when you are very clear, then you can connect with your mentors also or current teachers and you can seek their help, right? So that is like sure short way of doing. And of course, I'm always there for you. Then let us, I was just talking about the high impact skills which are worth mentoring. And then community and personal brand. So the last piece of transformation puzzle is community and branding. So no matter how talented you are, growth is faster when you're surrounded by the right people. Very important. Join communities, online, offline, where people share your interests and goals. Be active on platforms like LinkedIn, Instagram. Reach out to basically the current students of your dream university or alumni of your dream university. Interact with them, connect with them, ask for help, right? So that you get a clearer picture. So you can also share your progress, you can connect with your mentors, showcase your work. I know personal branding is not just for influencers, it's for everyone. In 6 months, you can create a simple personal brand that tells the world who you are and what you stand for. So start by posting once a week about what you're learning, what challenges you are facing, and what progress you are making. Trust me, you will be surprised by how many people resonate with your journey. Yeah, you know, networking and branding don't just bring opportunities, they bring accountability. And when people see you making progress, you feel motivated to stay consistent. And as we began with the three C's, consistency, consistency, and consistency, it is the key to transformation, right? So, let me share a very important quote. Don't overestimate what you can do in a day, but never underestimate what you can do in 6 months. Let me repeat. Very, very powerful. Don't overestimate what you can do in a day. Set realistic goals, right? But never underestimate what you can do in 6 months. So that is the beauty, right? So let's recap. In the next 6 months, if you focus on resetting your mindset, mapping smart goals, engineering habits, sprinting through new skills, and building your network and brand, you will not be the same person you are today. Agree? 6 months may feel short. Let me tell you, long enough to create a visible and powerful transformation. And the future version of you is waiting. Time to go and meet them. So here is my challenge for you. Take 10 minutes after this session to write down one big goal for the next 6 months. Okay? Then break it into three smaller milestones and write down the first habit you will start tomorrow. Just one. And then stick to it.